The sun is out, so my eyes may be dim like this. Nothing's wrong with my eyes. It's just the sun's right in my face, okay? This is very, very important, and this is something that the Lord actually showed me multiple times, okay? And I've already put out videos about it pertaining to the milk and pertaining to the beef, okay? Um, but when I put the videos out about it, I've spoken about something specific. But in this particular case, okay, the Lord actually showed me about 3 weeks ago, he showed me the cow and he literally said diseases, right? So, of course, I knew to take heed and not to eat any beef. And, I think he showed me that as well because my kids were asking for burgers and we're not in our country. So we felt like, okay, if we're not in our country, maybe it's safe to eat it in another country where maybe the meat is more pure, but the Lord said no. He said no beef. Okay, so I took that heed, I took that warning, and I thought it was just something pertaining to what I've already told you guys about in the past, right? So, anyways, yesterday in the daytime, around between 3 o'clock and 5 o'clock, I was in a deep nap. I was in a car and I was like dozing off and falling asleep. The Lord showed me the cow again. And then he showed me, after he showed me the cow, he showed me autism. He told me children with autism. As you guys know, my oldest has autism. And then he showed me children with Down syndrome. And then he showed me children with like cerebral palsy, like in the wheelchair. So he started showing me the disabilities of different children. And then he showed me the cow again. And then he said diseases. And then he showed me the milk and the meat of the cow. So he let me know that, you know, a lot of these diseases, they're linked to the cow meat, they're linked to the milk. And here's how you guys are going to know as well. You'll notice that back in the day, not many people knew about autism, but people did know about Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, and all these things. Like people didn't know about these things, right? But you notice that it's become more common where like 1 out of every 10 child is born with a disability. This is because there's a lot more contamination in the food. You have to understand that you are also what you eat. So if you are eating this, and you're conceiving the DNAs and all that stuff. Do you see what I'm saying? If this is in your bloodstream, this is in your DNA, and you're eating meats and you're eating certain foods that's contaminated, and that's all up in your DNA, conception. And then not only that, but imagine eating all this stuff when you're pregnant as well, right? So I'm not a scientist. I don't know how to connect everything. But one thing I do know is God will always send warning before destruction, right? And God will always warn people. And it's really up to us to take heed and to listen. And here's the thing, maybe we didn't receive warnings back then because it wasn't as bad, but now it's getting worse. And this is why the Lord is warning us. But I know for a fact, because it's not the first time he's told me this, for a fact, he has told me that the cow meat and the milk is linked to mental, something pertaining to the brain and how the brain functions. And I talked about this in a video I did a while back, and I said that, sometimes when you when you drink milk and you eat meat, you know, it can mess with your mental. You guys ever heard of mad cow disease? You know what I mean? So I brought something up and I talked about that months back. I think it was like last year or maybe earlier this year. And I talked about how it can affect the mental, and God showed me this. He literally showed me the DNA strand thingies in the vision, and then he showed me the brain and how it's affecting the brain. And you have to understand that when it comes to disabilities, that is the same thing. A lot of children that have disabilities or born with disabilities, it's something that has, it's something that has affected the brain. You see what I'm saying? So I want you guys, even though I'm not a scientist and I can't articulate it the way that I want to articulate it, I want you guys to understand that it's linked, okay? That the disabilities are linked to the milk, the cow, the meat of the cow, and it's linked to um, the mental, okay? The cow meat and the milk messing with the mental of the brain, okay? And this is very dangerous if you're pregnant, and this is very dangerous if you're conceiving, okay? So I want to give you guys this confirmation, and he still gave me the warning to stay clear of that stuff. I love you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.